Sup, it's Sora, welcome back to my channel, and today I want to share my thoughts on Alhaitham as of patch 3.7. If you enjoy content like this, like to let me know so I know to continue making content that you enjoy. Subscribe to help me reach my goal of 500 subscribers, and without further ado, let's jump right in. Alhaitham is like top 5 favorite characters in the game for me, easily. I love his personality, his design is really nice, those arms. Moving forward, he hits all the marks aesthetically for me, although there is something I hate about his hair, and I can't quite put my finger on it, but something's off. Anyways, Alhaitham is a 5-star Dendro Sword DPS, and he fulfills that role almost too well. I'm not kidding when I say this, I do feel like a lot of people feel this way. Alhaitham is the best DPS in the game. His main gimmick is his mirrors, which each number of mirrors he possesses increases his damage through extra attacks called projections that deal Dendro damage as well. Ideally, you want to maintain 3 mirrors for as long as possible, although even just 1 mirror can suffice at times, since he gains a Dendro infusion as long as he has at least 1 mirror. His skill will give him his infusion and 2 mirrors if he casts it while he has no mirrors, and if he does have mirrors before his skill cast, it'll give him just 1 mirror. In addition, his charged and plunged attacks will generate a mirror every 12 seconds thanks to his first ascension passive, which further helps him with his mirror uptime. His burst is mainly used when he has no mirrors, since it will immediately give him 3. Being a Dendro unit, he's of course locked into Dendro teams only, but since he excels so much in this regard, it's a restriction that can easily be overlooked. We already discussed his mirrors and all the ways he can maintain uptime on them, but in addition to all of that, his talents themselves scale with attack and most importantly, EM. This is insane, since as a Dendro unit, you'll want to stack a bunch of EM on him for the transformative reactions anyways, but doing so will also increase his raw damage itself. Even further, his second ascension passive increases the damage of his projection attacks from his mirrors and his burst by a small percentage of his EM, up to a 100% maximum increase. So let's recap. He has 1,000,001 ways to stack and maintain his mirrors for their projection attacks, his main source of damage output, as well as partial EM scaling in his talents, which increases his raw damage as well as his reaction damage, and that EM can possibly double the damage of his projection attacks and his burst. Can you understand why I think this dude is insanely good? Like, everything in his kit plays into itself. His only real downside is pretty much his non-existent off-field Dendro application. I say pretty much non-existent, since technically the duration and by extension damage of his burst increases by each mirror he possesses at the time of casting it, turning the usual 4 instances of damage at 0 mirrors from his burst up to 10 at 3 mirrors at the time of casting. In this way, you could cast his skill to gain 2 mirrors and then charged attack or plunged attack to gain the 3rd, and then cast his burst and swap out to someone else for some off-field presence, but it doesn't last long enough to warrant this being the focal point of his kit, nor does it do enough damage to justify not abusing his on-field capabilities. So all in all, his burst's main function is again to generate his 3 mirrors. One last thing about his burst though, you could actually swap out of Alhaitham while his burst is still going to pop a skill or a quick burst or something, and then quickly swap back before his instances are over and still gain all 3 mirrors. I find this especially useful in Hyperbloom teams with Kuki, where I set up my Hydro and whatnot, then cast Alhaitham's burst, swap to Kuki to cast their skill, and then swap back to Alhaitham to enjoy their maximum uptime I can get on Kuki's Electro application and Alhaitham's 3 mirrors. Just a little tidbit for those who may not have known. As for the future of Alhaitham, could he get better over time? As the overall spotlight being shown on Dendro is about to fall elsewhere, I don't think Alhaitham will see much growth in the future, outside of better Hydro units for maybe Bloom and Hyper Bloom teams. As it stands, we have sufficient Hyper Bloom triggers, so I don't think that'll be coming. And with Fontaine being the nation of Hydro, I'm pretty sure we'll see more Hydro units open up more team options for Alhaitham. With that being said, he's already so strong that I don't think not getting better anytime soon is necessarily a bad thing. If anything, we need to keep this dude balanced. But those are just my thoughts and my opinions on Alhaitham. If you enjoyed this video, like to let me know so I can continue making content that you enjoy. Subscribe to help me reach my goal of 500 subscribers. We're almost there. I can taste it. Follow me on all my social media. The link tree will be in the description down below, and I will see you all in the next video.